This is the moment a Russian missile struck Kyiv's children's hospital. 2 adults were killed, 300 injured. It was part of a missile bombardment which killed at least 38 people across Ukraine.
I was actually doing my dishes, I fed my dog. I saw that there was an air raid. In my head, it's like, okay, what could it be? And then I heard an impact sound outside of my window. So I was like, okay, that's something taken down. That's a missile.
Yulia lives 10 minutes walking distance from Okhmedit, Kyiv's children's hospital.
I felt the blast. I immediately knew that that's not air defense working, that's contact, and something was hit. We walked towards there, it was kind of chaos. It literally looked like Armageddon.
The hospital contains a major oncology unit for children. Many of the patients were evacuated.
Okhmedit is the biggest hospital of Ukraine. Here is concentrated the most serious patients with the most serious disease.
Dr. Lesia Lisitsia is still working in her clinic at the devastated Okhmedit hospital, where internet connection is currently sketchy.
Every day, one doctor stays at the hospital.
She was shaken by this attack.
I was in exam room exact opposite of the place of attack. I thought our hospital is the most protected place, not because we have a lot of anti-air help here, but because it's impossible even imagine that someone can attack pediatric hospital in any way.
This is not the first time Lesia Lisitsia helped her patients evacuate. 2 years ago, she helped her young patients onto buses as Russia's offensive on Kyiv escalated. Lesia says this pattern can't continue.
I want to say that we lose time when we can stop Russia. And so I think that we have last chance to stop it.
It's a pleasure to host you in this milestone year.
A day after Russia's missile attack at the NATO summit, global support for Ukraine has been top of the agenda.
Today, I'm announcing the historic donation of air defense equipment for Ukraine. The United States, Germany, the Netherlands, Romania, and Italy will provide Ukraine with the equipment for 5 additional strategic air defense systems.
And a strongly worded declaration issued by NATO today singled out China as an enabler of Russia's war in Ukraine.
Дорогі українці, зараз Вашингтон.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky vowed to increase pressure on the alliance.
Ми на телефоні, ми працюємо з партнерами зараз, щоб ніхто не мовчав.
For Ukraine, we need to understand this is an existential fight.
Retired Army Major General Mick Ryan wrote a book about the military strategy of the war in Ukraine. He says Zelensky's interests are clear.
This is something many people outside Ukraine don't understand, is they're actually fighting for the life of their country. They know what happens in Russian-occupied territory. The Ukrainians don't want that. So fighting on against Russia is certainly better than the alternative in the view of many Ukrainians.
Russia has claimed the Monday blast was caused by a misfiring Ukrainian air defense missile. Ukraine's investigations on the ground said that was highly unlikely.
At the moment, the NATO and West approach to the war is we help Ukraine defend itself for as long as it takes. I don't think that strategy is sustainable. The strategy will have to shift to help Ukraine beat Russia in Ukraine.
From his Sydney apartment, Vlad Gaz spent hours after the hospital attack trying to speak to his friend in Kyiv.
When it happened, she was just running opposite side to the explosion, and she hid in the shelter, and she shared that she fainted. like because it was such a shock. I just wanted
Vlad
to
came
ask
to
you, how
Australia
are
2
things
years ago on a
in
humanitarian
Ukraine
visa,
after what has
just
happened?
as his hometown was temporarily taken over by Russian troops.
When the war began, I was awakened by an explosion, and that's when my life changed.
He says many in Australia don't fully grasp the scale of the war.
They think, oh, it's just like a war in Europe, but it's a war in Europe.
Like Vlad, many Ukrainians say they're concerned that the world's attention is waning.
A very difficult day today for Ukrainian people.
At the Wimbledon Tennis Championship, Ukraine's second top women's player, Elina Svitolina, brought her country's plight back into global attention.
I think more people are talking about Elina Svitolina breaking down than people are talking about the actual attack. I think it is very important that celebrities take their time to show their true emotions and show them on camera and show them in these massive world championships with like millions of people of audiences, because unless they do, no one cares.